Hello, sixth graders. So today we are going to start a brand new topic. It is all about numbers and identifying numbers as integers, rational numbers, and we're going to be dealing with number lines a lot during this. So if you look to the left of this lesson, there is a picture of a thermometer. You may see a thermometer like this outside. The C is for Celsius. We're used to seeing thermometers in Fahrenheit, but it works the same exact way. All right, so it says put a blue dot on the thermometer at 10 degrees Celsius. So what you're going to do, you're going to drag one of these blue dots and you're going to put it on 10 degrees Celsius. So 10 degrees Celsius, I see right here. So I'm going to put a blue dot right there. Okay, that's at 10 degrees Celsius. And then put a dot, it says, at negative 10 degrees Celsius. So drag the other blue dot to negative 10 degrees Celsius, which is right here. Okay, then you're going to put a red dot. So this red dot right here, you're going to drag that over and put it at 4 degrees Celsius. So if I look, 0 is right here. Okay, we have 0 and it goes up to 10. So these dashes in between are not labeled. All right, but if there are 4 of them, meaning there are 5 spaces, okay, we know that each dash, is going to be 2. So we can count. We can go 2, 4. So 4 degrees Celsius is right here. Because if we keep counting, it goes 6, 8, 10. All right. And negative 4 degrees Celsius, the same thing. We have 0 and then we go down to the negative. So we have 0, negative 2, negative 4. So negative 4 is right here. Okay. So tell how you decided to place each mark. All right. So we decided to place each mark by looking at the 0 and seeing how far away each distance was from 0. Okay, the positive numbers were above 0, the negative numbers were below 0. All right, so there are 2 vocab words that I want to go over on this slide. The first vocab word is integer. The second vocab word is opposite. We're going to focus on the second vocab word, opposite. So you actually, without even noticing it, you graphed on this thermometer 2 sets of opposite numbers. Okay, 10 and negative 10 are opposites, and 4 and negative 4 are opposites. Okay, and basically what it means to be an opposite, it is numbers that are on different sides of the number line with the same distance from 0. All right. So if we look at those questions, how far away is the number 10 away from 0? Well, it's 10. How far away is negative 10 away from 0? It's also 10. So they have the same distance from 0, meaning that they are opposites. Same goes with 4 and negative 4. 4 is 4 away from 0, and negative 4 is 4 away from 0. What is another pair of opposites that you see on this thermometer? Well, another pair could be 20 and negative 20, or it could be 14 and negative 14, okay? As long as they're the same distance from 0, they are always opposites. So now that we know what an opposite is, let's look at this definition that's called an integer. So an integer is just specifying what the number is. So an integer, in order to be an integer, it includes counting numbers. So counting numbers, what you want to think of for counting numbers is like the numbers that you learned when you first started to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So basically whole numbers. So an integer are counting numbers. They're opposites. So if you have the counting number of 5, its opposite is negative 5. So counting numbers, they're opposites. and 0. So that's what an integer is. An integer is counting numbers, their opposites, so all the negatives of the counting numbers, and 0. Okay, so those are two very important vocabulary words you need to know for this topic. So let's practice identifying these points on the number line. So it says, using the number line above, give the integer that each point represents, then write its opposite. So you're writing two things. So our first one is A. So we're going to find A on the number line. I see it right here. Okay. Now, if it helps you to always start at 0, that's totally fine. Okay. So I can see that 0 is here and -5 is here. So I know I'm counting by ones. So we have 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So A is -7. And what is -7's opposite? Well, the opposite of -7 is 7. Okay, let's look at B. I see B. We'll erase this. I see B is right here. Okay, so what is the integer that B represents? Well, B is 4. 0 is right here. Count this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so B is 4. The opposite of 4 is -4. Okay, we have C. Oh, that's pretty obvious right here. It's already labeled. C is 0. Okay, and 0 actually doesn't really have an opposite. So 0 is just 0. There's no such thing as a -0. It is just 0. So 0 is its own opposite. So the opposite of 0 is 0. D, I see D is right here. Okay, so again, start at 0 and move this way. We have -1, -2. Okay, so D is -2. The opposite of -2 is 2. Which, coincidentally, let's look at E. E is equal to what integer? 2. And the opposite of 2 is -2, because they're both 2 away from 0. And the last one, F. F is at a number that's actually labeled on the number line. So F is equal to -5. The opposite of -5, what is 5 away from 0, is 5. All right, so integers, again, are not fractions, okay? Integers are counting numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. They're opposites, so all of the negatives of those, okay, and 0. All right, now the one thing I do want to go over, which you will see on the Google form attached to this, okay, so we talked about how negative numbers, remember negative numbers, their opposites are positives, as long as they're the same distance away from 0. But my question is for you, what does this equal? If I have a -3, what is the value of -3? What do you think? Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you have two negatives next to each other, okay, remember this parenthesis, we learned before that a parenthesis next to anything is like you're multiplying it. So basically we're multiplying these two negatives. When you multiply two negatives, they cancel out and they become a positive. So -3, so I'll rewrite this. -3 is equal to +3. Those are the same exact thing. So my question is for you, what is the opposite of -3? Well, the opposite of -3, in order to find that out, well, you have to figure out what -3 is, which is 3, and then find the opposite of that, which is -3, okay? So the opposite of -3 is -3. Okay, that's a little tricky to understand, and I understand if you're like, wait, what? Okay, but just know that when you have a negative with another negative and they're multiplied together, It really just equals a positive. Okay, so then if we're taking the opposite, we're really just taking the opposite of this number, which is -3. All right, so attached to this Edpuzzle is a Google form that gives you more practice with integers and opposites and identifying them on a number line. All right, so complete that and let me know if you do have any questions. Have a great day, guys. Bye.